Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from our news hub, Atomic Junction, Benap House, Accra. My name is Fauzi Abdullah. Coming up in this afternoon's bulletin. AMA has deployed additional task force personnel to the Central Business District to clamp down on drivers charging unapproved transport fares. And in business, Turkey's export to Africa reached $13.3 billion in the first 7 months of 2026. And on the international front, more than 2,000 people have been newly displaced across Sudan's Kordofan region due to intensified fighting since late last year. These and many more details coming up in the next few minutes. Do stay. Thanks for staying. You're watching Baina Midday News and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now to our very first story. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has deployed additional task force personnel to the Central Businesses District to clamp down on commercial drivers charging unapproved transport fares, particularly during peak hours. The Assembly says the practice of arbitrarily increasing fares contributes to rising prices of food and other essential services. Speaking to journalists, the Mayor of Accra, Michael Kpakpo Aloti, cautioned trotro, taxi and ride-hailing drivers against charging fares outside approved rates. He said the AMA will intensify monitoring and sanction drivers who are found charging excessive fares. The mayor warns that drivers caught flouting the approved fares will face the full force of the law. The AMA says the exercise is aimed at protecting commuters from arbitrary fare increases and ensuring compliance with approved transport fares within the metropolis. Moving on, the Ghana Grid Company Limited has attributed Thursday morning's widespread power outage to a major fault on the Akosombo Volta transmission line, which triggered the automatic shutdown of the Akosombo generating units and some terminal plants. According to Gridco, the shutdown was part of the National Power Systems Protection Mechanism designed to safeguard the stability and integrity of the national interconnected transmission system.
In a statement, it said engineers are working in close coordination with other power sector agencies to isolate the affected transmission line and commence the safe and systematic restoration of the power system. Several parts of Ghana were plunged into darkness from about 4:30 a.m. on Thursday, August 20th, 2026, disrupting households, businesses, and essential services. In Accra, affected communities included Adabraka, Weja, Tesano, Achimota, Jowulu, Legon, Madina, Adenta, and Oyarifa, with residents reporting outages from the early hours of the morning. The disruption also affected parts of the eastern, northern, central, and Ashanti regions, including Ebri and Tamale. But Gridco says electricity has already been restored to some affected areas, with restoration efforts continuing for remaining customers. Thursday's incident is the second major disruption in Ghana's national power system in less than a month. On July 29, 2026, several parts of the country, including communities in Accra, Tema, Kaswa, and parts of Ashanti and eastern regions, also experienced a widespread power outage. The recurrence of the outages is likely to renew concerns about the stability of the national power grid and the reliability of electricity supply. Gridco is expected to provide further updates on the situation.
Away from that, the Ghana Association of University Administrators has temporarily suspended its ongoing industrial action, with members expected to return to work from Wednesday, August 19, 2026. The National Executive Committee of the association said the suspension would remain in force until after a scheduled meeting with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission on Thursday, August 25th.
UA said the decision was taken to create room for further discussion with the FWSC, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, and the Minister for Education on the issues that triggered the strike. Members have consequently been directed to resume their duties while awaiting the outcome of the engagements. In a notice issued to members, the NEC thanked them for their solidarity and cooperation throughout the industrial action and urged them to remain committed as negotiations continue. Members have also been asked to await further directives after the August 25th meeting, which is expected to inform the association's next steps.
Moving on further in today's bulletin, the National Service Authority says it has received 40 million Ghana cedis from the government to begin basic military training for national service personnel. The Director General of the authority, Ruth Dela Sedo, announced the allocation at the inaugural National Youth Forum organized by the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. She said the funding had been approved by President John Dramani Mahama to support the implementation of the military training program.
The program is expected to equip national service personnel with skills in discipline, resilience, and other areas of basic military training. The announcement was made during a forum that brought together young people and institutions, including the Youth Employment Agency, National Service Authority, and National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, to discuss challenges and opportunities for the youth. The forum also saw calls for stronger financial support for young entrepreneurs. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, Sharif Ghali, called for the establishment of a National Youth Development Fund backed by legislation and financed through a dedicated percentage of national revenue. Mr. Ghali also cited the large turnout at a KFC promotional exercise on Saturday, August 15, as an indication of the economic pressures facing young people. He urged the government to create more opportunities for young people to become economically independent. Young participants also called for improved access to information about government agencies and programs that support entrepreneurship. One participant urged authorities to educate young people, particularly university students, about available opportunities and institutions. The National Youth Forum is aimed at strengthening engagement between policymakers and young people while promoting interventions in employment, entrepreneurship, skills development and economic empowerment. The Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment is also using the forum to promote its Red Means Stop campaign, which seeks to raise awareness about drug abuse and encourage young people to make healthier choices.
You're still watching Baina Midday News. We'll take a quick breather, after which we'll bring you business and more. Stay.
Baina ina masu ciniki me kake sayarwa abincin ci ne ko kuwa rigan sawa ne Kasuwan Baina is here to take your business to the next level and then give your business the spotlight it needs. It doesn't matter where you are. Call us. Kasuwan Baina will come. So take this number 053-948-7757. Let's take your business to the next level. Kasuwan Baina. Let's go together.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Barka da zuwa Salinas Scientific Herbal Clinic, inda yanayi da kimiyya ke haduwa. A Salinas Scientific Herbal Clinic, mun yarda da karfin magani ta gargajiya da kuma ta hanyar ganye, wanda binciken kimiyya ya tabbatar domin warkar da cututtuka kamar ta fibroid, prostate, erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, infertility da makamantansu.
Our dedicated team provides personalized consultation, taking the time to understand your individual needs and health goals.
Ina maza masu fama da karancin maniyyi, mata da kuma maza masu fama da matsalar rashin haihuwa. Wannan shekaran za ku rike 'ya'yanku na kanku.
At Salinas, we are proud to have positively impacted the lives of countless patients, guiding them on their journey to better health.
Well, with Salinas Herbal Clinic, with their ultra-modern equipment or with their ultra-modern system, please kindly visit Salinas Herbal Clinic. They are well equipped with ultrasound, laboratory service, and rehabilitation. Such as people who are going through physio can visit Salinas Herbal Clinic. Don't forget, Salinas is also specialized in hijama, known as the camping therapy. So kindly visit Salinas Herbal Clinic and rest assured you will not be disappointed.
Ina yankin Tampo, Tamale, Nkranza, Wenki da kewaye, ku zo ta cima sabon zango. Muna kallon Ejumapa FM wanda da aka fi sani da Adepa FM. A nan za ku same mu.
A Salinas Scientific Herbal Clinic, muna located at Madina Red Co Warehouse. Za ku iya dokan lambar da ke kan screen nan ku call domin karin bayani.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
The word Islam is an Arabic word which means to surrender. As a Muslim, you surrender yourself to the Almighty Allah, your Creator. To do that, we need to understand the concept of Islam. Baina TV comes your way with the most educative and informative Islamic program, Understanding Islam. On this show, we answer all the questions regarding Islam, the do's and the don'ts of the Sharia, and many others. Make a date with me Aisha Muhammad Sahib this and every Friday at 10:30 a.m. as we educate ourselves with the knowledge of the deen.
You're welcome back and thanks for staying. If you just tuned in, you're watching Baina Midday, so we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now let's delve into the world of business. And Turkey's export to Africa reached $13.3 billion in the first 7 months of 2026, representing a 12.6% increase compared with the same period last year, amid deepening trade, infrastructure and diplomatic ties between Turkey and the continent, AA reports. Exports to Africa also rose by 16.3% year-on-year in July alone to $2.3 billion, according to figures cited by Turkey Africa Business Council Chairman Osman Aksoy.
Egypt was among the strongest performing markets during the period, with Turkish exports increasing by 26.1% to $2.3 billion between January and July. Exports to South Africa rose 31.3% to $479 million, while shipments to Nigeria increased by 52.1% to $453.2 million. Turkey's exports to Libya reached $1.59 billion during the first 7 months, while exports to Tunisia increased by 9.9% to more than $720 million. Exports to Niger also rose by 8% to more than $302 million. Morocco remained a major destination for Turkish goods, with exports increasing by 11.7% to $2.43 billion. However, exports to Algeria declined by 18.8% to $1.09 billion. Mr. Aksoy attributed the growth to Turkey's long-term commercial diplomacy, expanding logistics network and stronger connectivity between Turkey and African markets. Machinery and equipment, electrical and electronic products, automobiles, chemicals, iron and steel, textiles, food and construction materials were among the key sectors driving Turkish exports to Africa. In Tunisia, he highlighted textiles, automotive components, machinery and technology, while in Niger and the wider Sahel region, he identified energy, agriculture, irrigation, mining, and infrastructure as areas with significant potential for increased Turkish investments and trade.
Away from business, let's move to some news beyond our borders. And more than 200,000 people have been newly displaced across Sudan's Kordofan region due to intensified fighting since last year. The United Nations has said as continued drone attacks target critical water and electricity infrastructure in the region's biggest city, El Obeid. The warning from the U.S. International Organization for Migration came on Wednesday as seasonal flooding in nearby North Darfur state also compounded the displacement crisis.
According to the IOM, displacement in the Sheikhan district, which includes the city of El Obeid, has surged 25% over the past 8 months. In El Obeid, repeated fighting and drone attacks on the city's main power transformer have knocked out electricity needed to pump water, run hospitals, and keep phone lines working, the organization said. In the Blue Nile state, some 78,000 people have also fled their homes, the IAM said, while in West Darfur, about 18,000 others were displaced in the first half of August. Meanwhile, in North Darfur, heavy rains in the Tawila area have damaged nearly 1,350 homes, displacing more than 1,000 families, the United Nations organizations added. Since the war began in April 2023, an estimated 59,000 people have been killed, while 8.6 million people have been internally displaced. More than 4.2 million people have also fled to neighboring countries. Some 3.3 million people require humanitarian assistance according to the UN. Reporting from one of the main roads leading to El Obeid, Al Jazeera's Al-Migdad Al-Ruhaid described the routes where drones belonging to the Rapid Support Force RSF paramilitary have targeted army vehicles, oil tankers and cargo trucks. The Sudanese army-held city has endured one of the longest sieges of the war, but the RSF still maintains position south and west to the city and still continues attacking nearby villages, Al-Ruhaid said, adding that this was further worsening the humanitarian situation in the region. El Obeid had a population of 750,000 people before the war, but authorities now estimate the population has reached 3.4 million according to the Sudan's Tribune. Save the Child, a humanitarian group, said that nearly 39,000 children have arrived in the first 6 months of this year.
Now to our final story on sports. FC Samatex 1996 has strengthened their midfield